Hey everybody, it's Tuesdays from the Barracks. How the hell did that happen? All right, here we go.
What happened?
The setup was all wrong, is what happened.
And look, I'm on time. Holy crap.
No, you weren't.
I'm perfectly on time.
You did not log in until 1 minute after the show started.
The show started. My face is on. Where I'm on time.
I was trying a lot longer to get in time.
Hey, everybody, I'm Joker Players Wanted with me. It's not a party till he comes out. Weiner from New Breed Airsoft, and down below, he'll give you some. It's Justin. He'll give you some shiny new bracelets if you really piss him off. Beowulf West. All righty, everybody. We're gonna go over our AAR, so we get to tell Beowulf everything that happened this weekend. That's gonna be like the great thing about it.
I've heard some stories.
Oh yeah,
I didn't come back pregnant, so we're good.
Oh, you look it. So
look who's talking, Spanky.
Well, there was a. Oh, by the way, Beowulf, there's a great prank I played on Weiner when we were leaving the Buc-ee's by his house. I turned to him and I go, we were bantering with the one behind the counter. I was like, "Don't let my husband bother you; he'll be fine." And then his head whipped up and goes, "No!"
Your wife wouldn't approve.
Well, at least he referred to you as the husband.
That's true.
Well,
that's why that makes him the bitch.
Well, real quick, obviously I'm having to do this kind of commando here on the cell phone. But
hey, keep your pants on, sir.
How beautiful that is.
That is a beautiful view, sir.
Yes, it is. My yard will look like that someday.
He's about 3,000 acres to do that.
Yep.
So we were trying to have Jeremy Blackburn on. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to make it.
Is that RATS?
Yeah, that's Bat Ninja RATS Airsoft.
Bat Ninja.
Although I have been talking with a couple of the other vehicle drivers next week.
Why do we not have any messages yet?
I have no idea. I mean, people.
Oh, there's one.
Hey, Gertz Gaming.
So what we are going to do for next week is we are going to have an entire stream dedicated to all the challenges it is to be a vehicle driver.
Next week, why don't you just do that now, because you tore your truck up big time this weekend.
I will talk a little bit about the damage sustained to the truck, but we're definitely going to do it with the other vehicle drivers. I'm currently trying to reach out to Mom to talk to them. Doomsday, the guys from Doomsday
cool
Airsoft,
awesome people.
They're going to be coming in. I'm actually going to have a chance to see their field this weekend because I have to go up to Pennsylvania on Friday. So
aren't they in Alabama?
They are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to
you're gonna
Pennsylvania, do what I need to do up there. On the way home, I'm going to stop off at MK Airsoft's new field, the second largest field in the United States. After I get done there, I'm going to head south. I'm going to stop off at in that area of Alabama. It's just below the Tennessee border. I'm going to play there on Sunday. Play there Sunday, and then I'll be back home sometime Sunday night.
Cool.
So I'm going to hit the two fields and check them out. I mean, I'm not going to be there for a huge amount of time, but for an hour or two at least to check it out.
Actually, bring some of my stuff down. I'm going to be down in Orlando for a class all next week, Saturday to Saturday.
Oh, really?
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to hook up. Well, you're gonna be stuck in class all the whole time.
Oh no, it's like conference class, so it's like get done early kind of stuff.
Cool.
So we're gonna start jumping this to a minute. We're just gonna try to get people to go in. I'm gonna fire up the TikTok live studio here, get that going on the other side, so that way. Hey, where'd it go?
How many people we got watching? I can't really see anything on the cell phone.
We got 6 right now. They're increasing. I'm gonna probably share it to the Third Coast page because there's a lot to talk about. What happened at Stonebreaker XI.
It was fun though. I had a good time.
It was a blast. I mean, I had a good time. There was obviously a couple things.
We got a lot of kills. We got a ton of kills.
Yes, we did.
Yes, we did. Our kill ratio was way up.
Yes, we
That's
were.
What I was hearing from a lot of folks.
What's that?
That's what I was hearing from a lot of folks.
Well,
we pissed off a whole lot of.
We got 5-5s from too, though. Most of those.
No, what I mean by pissed off. What I mean by pissed off is that we kept making them do work, and they weren't too happy with that, to be honest. I mean, it's like each time that they think that they're going to go through, they had to turn around and then they had to turn around and chase us down. They had to go backwards. So it was really amusing for us. What the hell?
What?
I open up TikTok Studio and I get bombarded with notifications, like one after another after another.
Past due bills.
Apply. Wait,
No, that's an old game. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that one. Battlefield War Machines? When's that coming out?
There we go.
That looks like our game, by the way.
Really?
It's called Battlefield War Machine event. Official trailer coming out. It looks like Future Wars.
Talking about a video game?
Uh-huh.
Copyright it quick.
See, I'll turn the volume off. I'm going to watch the preview.
Why don't you wait till after the show? I mean,
I can do it right now. I do what I normally do.
Just as a thought.
Well,
why don't you just
like stuff too? I mean,
Yeah, but
we got to talk about my game on here too. Yeah. Oh man, you guys got to see the video. Badass.
Yeah. Oh.
It's called Battlefield 2042 War Machine event. It looks just like Future Wars. Holy shit.
Oh. I remember the original Battlefield 2142. Yeah. That's good stuff.
Yeah, so 2042 came out in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And then it looks like our field. Holy crap, dude. You got to go watch the video, the trailer.
Cool. All right. Pop out chat. All right, here we go. All right, so I just want to make sure we had
classic mode.
I want to make sure that we had all this stuff set up and ready to go so that we could talk about a lot of the cool stuff that was there. So Beowulf gets to be talked to about all the stuff that we saw and that we happened and we interacted with at the event, because man, was it fantastic. There's so much video. I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start cutting it down. There's just so much of it.
Fire away. Get start somewhere.
I know, but I mean, there's nothing really. Did you just zip up your pants on camera?
No, I did this just to my belt. I'm about to eat probably 90 pounds of crawfish.
I was going to say, at least he can zip up his pants.
I can zip up my pants just fine.
So you say.
So anyways.
That Dunlop covers a zipper.
For some of y'all, people wonder how I take all this abuse and
you dish it out too. Don't act like you don't.
It's because I have friends like these, right? I never have to. Like earlier today, I had a call because we're doing the thing for my mom to be her caregiver and all that. They had an agency call me to ask about my mental health and all that stuff, and I was like, I'm fine. They go, and she goes like this. I go, I'm fine. She goes, are you depressed? I said, no, I'm not depressed. She goes, I handle and I could cope and all that. She goes, well, a lot of people say that copingly. I was like, ma'am, I'm really thick-skinned. This is not it's the only thing that's hurting is the financial aspect.
Yeah, and she goes, like the abuse.
She goes, it's okay to say that you're hurting. I was like, ma'am, if you were to see my friends, this is nothing.
I help him all the time with his coping mechanism.
Yeah. So let's talk a bit about Stonebreaker, right? So if you guys haven't been there, let's talk about the site. It's Government Training Institute. It's an
Church badass.
It's an old nuclear reclamation facility that was.
Say that 3 times fast.
Nuclear reclamation facility, nuclear reclamation facility, nuclear reclamation facility. Haha.
Still slurred.
Nerds.
So it's a really cool AO to be able to play airsoft in, and we've played there quite a bit, so I know the facility pretty well when it comes down to stuff.
The plateau can be a bitch if you're doing that shit on foot repeatedly, charging up the hill.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely going to talk that.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, yeah, because all right, so some of this stuff is definitely going to be talked about when it comes to the event, because I have notifications popping off from Facebook about what happened and all that stuff with one of the technicals. That I will pull that up. I will show that on screen because some of this stuff is definitely worth talking about and making sure that we have a conversation on. So if you guys are in Airsoft and you're looking at unique AOs to play in, I'm telling you right now, you're going to want to try to check out GT. And you've never been to GTI, you got to do it once.
Yes.
It's
You're
like
going to
one
want
of
to
the,
do it a couple of times.
That too.
it's one of the
You-
facilities. Oh shit! What the hell?
When you walk into a building and you
Fuck,
feel
I
like
just
you're in
screwed
a
this up.
submarine, it's a unique experience. It's not your generic like urban style, gameplay
Warfare.
like Guardian Center or something like that.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
not to take away from the Guardian Center, but that is a unique experience in of itself. The kind
You know,
of
it sucks. I
factory-
never made it in a single building this weekend. I was too busy out taking out the troops on the outside of the building,
Mm.
driving up hills, getting whiplash, busting Mark's mirror out again.
which was really funny because when I got home and I was like streaming
this is a bit-
live
yeah.
the next day, I was like, yeah, here's the damage that happened, right? And I go over and I pointed at my mirror. I was like, yeah, and Weiner once again shot out my side view mirror, and I pan to it, and then the mirror just falls out, and I was like, well then.
By the way,
Oh.
he's already got a brand new mirror at his house.
It's already installed. It's
Yep.
already installed. It got installed on
Just
Monday as soon as it came
Bring
in.
one to
Now
every
if he,
event. And just
now if
have
he
it
can only
ready.
get his windshield done as fast.
Yeah,
Which I didn't do, by the way.
300 in.
I did not do the
No.
windshield.
$365 is how much it is to do get a new windshield done. And it's part of the challenges that when you're how's the best way to put it? When you're a technical driver, that this is going to happen. It's not a matter of when, it's not a matter if, it's a matter of when, right? And sometimes you just have to, suck up the fact that, well, this is going to suck, and be
Costs money.
prepared for it. It's like there's something else. There's something else that also goes into it, like damage to your vehicle, right? Not just your windshield, like Magoo over here. Well, look, this time,
Don't blame me for the fucking windshield. Yes. that's
no,
right.
no, I'm talking about the mirror, dipshit.
The
But
mirror, but the mirror was part of the battle, and that was not all my fault. That
no, I was
you
just
hitting
gonna, I
every
was just
fucking
gonna
dip in the
defend you a
road.
little bit and say it wasn't
But I did buy
necessarily
it.
his fault,
Right.
because we were in a
Not
heated
completely.
pitch battle, and I had to go. I went from a hard surface to off-roading, and when we hit down, his barrel went down.
Barrel
I mean,
dropped.
a smart person would probably put their barrel on top of the mirror, so
It
he
was
has a
in the
little bit more
crack.
stability.
It was in the crack between the mirror and the frame. When you did drop down, the barrel, me went backwards, came down, came up, and yeah, shot it out. That's okay.
It
I took
happens.
care of
It
I paid for
happens.
It happens. Luckily, it's
Yeah.
not like a $300 mirror. It's the mirror
What was
piece
it, like
is only
$25 or something like that?
$16
$16
with all my
Just go,
discounts. Yeah,
just go ahead and buy one before you go to any event.
I
with
think
it.
I'll start. I'll probably start doing that.
Like,
Or
here
if
you
you
go.
get if
And you know what? You do that, right? You do that, and you'll never shoot.
never break
one out
another one.
again.
That's right.
Never again.
That's correct.
It'll be fine.
It's funny though. You can't polish a turd. Yet he tried to.
Damn.
My truck's a turd, sir.
Yes, it is.
How is it a turd when we did everything needed to be done?
We did
inside that
everything you're
vehicle?
supposed to, but you try to wash that thing. It's not even worth it anymore. The rain took care of it, but still.
It
You
was
look at the
worth getting
thing,
the
he
dust and
drives
the
what?
dirt.
And the pink mist off it.
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
ate, that I ate twice.
Boy, you made your great impersonation of the guy I don't like to talk about. So, I mean, but we're gonna get there, right? We're gonna get there. We're gonna talk about it. So, if you're an airsofter, you got to go to GTI at least once. And honestly, hands down, the best people to do that with is Third Coast Airsoft. They do put on a really excellent event. They put on a lot of stuff that's there, and they're constantly evolving and changing the rule set to bring more enhanced and dynamic play. Man, there's a whole lot of buzzwords there, but what does that all mean at the end? It's fun as hell.
Yep, had a good time. You got to go in there with an open mind, have fun.
Yeah.
There is some command structure to it. Apparently, Western had a better command structure than Eastern did this time.
By far.
By the way, I was part of that command structure, so if that gives you any idea.
That's what I was saying. By far.
But Chaos Company did kick ass. Thank you, Chaos guy. Everybody was on Chaos. Capital Carolina Airsoft. Or is that right?
My boys.
Carolina
We
Capital
did.
Airsoft.
We put in.
Even One Eye, who, by the way, his wife was there, so he had to go and fall down a hill and hurt his back so she could take care.
Can
of
you
him.
stop jumping ahead, please?
Well,
I mean,
you're
I
taking
really
so
would.
long on the build-up.
I know.
I'm trying to get there.
It's like
I'm trying to get
the
there.
anticipation
But he
of
jumps ahead like
of a banana split and it's melted already.
Oh no, God forbid. God forbid we talk to the people that are here that are trying to get advice, where to go, how to play.
You
all
only
that
got
fun stuff.
another. You only got
Go-
another 40 minutes, so speed along, Spanky.
God forbid we talk about a little bit of build-up. But maybe if you were on time, we would be moving this.
I was
along
on
better.
time.
You were not.
My face showed up on time on the screen. That's all that mattered.
If the
That's all
credits
they
are
care
rolling,
about. They want to see
if
my
the credits
face,
are
not yours.
rolling, that means you're late. All right. So
I wasn't late. I was on time. Thank
He's
you.
doing better.
you're late.
It's 7:19 now. We have another 41 minutes. So
Unless we
let's
go
go,
longer.
Spanky. Get to the point.
All right.
No, I can't go longer tonight because I'll fall asleep
Yeah.
waiting on you.
No. You done?
Oh
Hey,
no,
Ryan,
I'm not
look at the
done.
length.
I got plenty more to go.
All right. So we actually, so before the event even started, we had our first major mishap, right? So
Yes, sad.
so we had we had Patrick Kate brought up his
Poor Patrick.
his
I'll be
Humvee.
there in a second.
Do you need to
You
go
have-
for
you
a
have to
minute
go for
there,
a minute?
Bale?
No, the kids are starting to eat.
Oh,
I'll
Oh,
stay as long as I can.
I got you.
why don't you just get a bowl in front of you and I'll live vicariously through your crawdads.
Oh, shut up, freaking
You
sushi guy.
don't want to witness that.
Um,
Looks like Shark Week when one of them great whites get a
I want
hold
to
of
hear
a
the
baby seal.
slurping. I want to hear the slurping.
so
He's just nasty.
Patrick got this awesome new Humvee. I mean, obviously he bought it
It
used.
looked beautiful. It
It
looked
looked great.
beautiful.
We were looking forward to running it on the field. He gets out. He's driving to the field, and
From the Airbnb
from the Airbnb to the field, he's 2 miles away,
and the wheel
and he
hub
has a
separates.
catastrophic
Oh.
failure of the wheel hub in the right, the passenger rear.
Oh no, I didn't
Tire.
know it was that
You had it
close.
right,
I
the
thought
right
it
rear
happened on
side.
the way there.
No,
No,
it
it
happened like
happened up
within
there.
2 miles of the field.
Oh
Which-
man,
You made it
If
all the
you
way up
think-
from Tampa.
If you think about it, it's probably better that it happened. I mean, it probably would have been better to happen in a parking lot of GTI.
right.
But- I mean, that was the first bummer of the weekend. So we lost to Vic. But then we get there and we start getting our command debrief. And this is where I think one of the first issues I see with the event. I always say at almost every single one of the event, command might have an overall game plan.
There's a learning curve whenever you have a new commander.
Wait, best group of players yet. Chaos took me and my kids on without a second thought. Made my kills like part of the group. They're already on me about the next event, no matter how far it is. Well,
Okay.
we
That's
have
what chaos
I
is
gotta have
about.
to. I have
Ryan.
to
Come
make.
on.
I have to make a statement right here, though. His two kids were more mature than about half the 20 to 28-year-olds that were out there at the event.
and I agree.
We need more of that.
Yep.
We do
Oh
need
yeah.
more of that. Those kids were.
We're okay with child soldiers in chaos. It's okay.
Hey,
So-
those child soldiers kicked butt.
Hey, look, there's
They were
always
on the move.
Syndicate 5.
And Dad wasn't bad either. Dad did
Yeah.
a good job too.
Hey, look, I give that dude credit, right?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like me. His kids probably the ones that got him into it.
He's not as fat as you, but yeah.
Shut your fucking hole. I mean, seriously, shut up. Hey,
No,
look who's
I don't wanna.
talking.
Listen, Captain Dunlop. I don't have a Dunlop. You got a Dunlop.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. I
Anyways,
can take my shirt off and I can still see my.
now look who's talking about the
You
lane
take
shit.
your shirt off and you can't see anything.
Let's
Can-
keep talking.
Can both of y'all keep your shirts on, please? For the audience's sake. There's people. There might be children watching.
I'm sure Ryan's kids are watching.
So
Look away, children.
One of the
Look away.
one of the things that I always say is that you're planning for the first 15 minutes. You can have an overall game plan of how aggressive you want to be, what your plan is on how you go up and take an objective, where you stay at, where you fall back to, stuff like that. You could have those basic plans, but pretty much in almost every airsoft event, after the first 15 minutes, that battle plan is gone, right? And you're responding to stuff on the field and all that because airsofters are idiots. Hi, I'm an airsofter. I'm an idiot. Weiner is an airsofter, and he's like, never mind. I'll behave with what I was about to say, but the reality comes down to you have to play to the smallest denominators. So one of the first things we saw was for operational security, because there was concern about somebody on Western having our radio channels, that every objective had 3 names. Now for the first 15 minutes, I'm all for it, but and you all, Weiner, correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't both commanders have, like Eastern and Western commanders, have access to Cerberus
Yes.
that could see everything
correct.
going? So if they are if they're watching as we call in touchdown Monica or touchdown French, and all
Sarah.
of if we touchdown French and all of a sudden Kate turns, it's a kind of good indication they already know where our call signs were. So I understand the need for
It was
operation
France, by
security.
the way.
It was France, or
Yes.
whatever. French, France is all the same goddamn thing. It became really convoluted for the average airsofter going to these events to try to download and accept. Even those of us that did our best to accept it also screwed up a lot. There was a lot of people that were complaining on the offset that they didn't know how to call in accurately the names of where to do a call site, because I mean they name certain grids, certain things, and like when you have things that are named after states, not everybody knows that what MN, MS, MI, ME, MD, what are those names for?
Maryland, Maine, Mississippi, Michigan.
Yeah, we might know, but the average person sometimes doesn't. All right.
Oh, you didn't call me average. I'm not average. Look at that.
No. You're definitely spectacular.
Thank you.
You're an idiot savant. Capital I in idiot, by the way.
I'm a VIP.
You got to keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
That's right. Kiss it.
When
That's
it
right.
comes to battle plans and everything else, keep it simple, right? The other thing is that when we were given our orders at the start, it's like, okay, I am 100% a chaos unit with my vehicle. Weiner is a great secondary gunner if he actually has everything going and he pays attention. And
oh, wait a minute. Wait. You're talking about the launchers now. Your piece of crap launcher and Mike's piece of crap launcher were flexing and would not fire until I held it with two hands. And it's kind of hard to hold.
I was mostly talking about Weiner tactical, and you're still shooting your rifle out the window. Oh, what? Shoot the technical.
It didn't make a difference anyways. The technical freaking launchers wouldn't launch.
Dad's doing
Anyway.
So the reality of, you know, going through and doing that, we've always been designed to be a unit that runs up, deploys behind enemy lines, and tries to be the thorn in the side of every single commander, every single enemy commander out there. And at the start of the day, Saturday, Eastern looked like it was being the beastern it was. We had everything up all the way to Lola. We had Monica, we had Betty, we had the pipe yard, we had all those things at the top of the field, and we were doing a really good job of controlling the field to a really high degree. At about 1:30, we rolled in after. I mean, my job is to roll up, absorb all the pyro, and die, and then get done. But I will say that we got it really excited about the new mechanic that came out. That new mechanic is mechanic.
A mechanic.
It's essentially a tourniquet for a vehicle.
And they run up. Awesome.
What's up?
Hey, conflict.
What's going on, conflict? So they roll up, and somebody can run up. It has a tire and a wrench.
What's his name?
Who?
That's Sergeant Major Green.
Oh, Sergeant Major Green online. So you run up and you wrap around the mirror, and the truck is back up. The vehicle's back up, and if they get blown up again, they have to go back to respawn, to reset, and all that. Great mechanic.
Oh, it's awesome.
I want to thank all of TCA staff for coming up with that, because it's a really awesome idea, and we'll talk about it later. But it led to a really awesome play that we can never forget. So
is that the one where I eat the pink?
Yes, that'll be the one where you eat the pink. That's on Sunday. We're on Saturday. One of the things that we learn lessons as vehicle tacticals also. Like, one of the things that we did not have until the end of the day at Sirius Viking was a dismount that could run up and switch objectives, because we just didn't have our full team there to be able to do stuff. But once we got that down, when we rolled it, we took a lot of points. We put a lot of points on the board. It took a lot of points away from Western at Sirius Viking. So we implemented that from minute one at Stonebreaker, and it was very effective. We took a lot of objectives and all that. So they tasked us, because we didn't have I think we had Kate, but we didn't have Sarah, and we didn't have Wendy. So they tasked us to go take Wendy, Kate, and Sarah. So we go rolling out there. We had a small team with us. We roll up. We took Wendy with very little resistance. There was a couple of guys there we took out. We then continued on, and we took on Kate. At Kate, we met the tryhards there. We killed 2 on the berm, and then the third was Laz was right there, blew us up. Well played. I didn't see him. We were too busy focusing on the objective. That's our own situational awareness. But then Green came out of the woods. When they came out of the woods, there was a quick little battle firefight. Laz got taken out. We got mechanicked, and then we made our first roll on it. We took Sarah. When we took Sarah, there was very little resistance. There was just a couple of people walking to it, and they're halfway there. They were halfway to Sarah, and all of a sudden we roll up, and then the guys even get hit. The one guy just goes like this. He goes, like, throws his arms up and pulls his dead rag out, and nobody was even shooting at him yet. So we took Sarah, and then we rolled back up because our thing was just to piss them off and make them dedicate resources. We roll back up the hill, and then we get blown up by Lola, and there's all of a sudden a hell of a lot of tans. So we bleed out, we respawn. As we're going back near the parking lot at around 2:30, there was about 100 green in the parking lot and a long line at the food truck. There was a problem because when we made the turn around, like you go down that thing and turn around, Tan had all the entire high ground, and they had Monica, and they were pushing on Betty. So for the next hour and a half, we were sitting there just constantly fighting over Monica and Betty, and not being very effective, I feel, with the way that we dropped our ordnance to move. I will also say this because there was a comment since Sunday that really pissed me off. I don't know how it is in the military, but I'm just going to release it off what airsofters do. Technicals scare the shit out of other airsofters. We come rolling up, they retreat and throw grenades. So our job is to force them to retreat as they're wasting their ordnance, and have infantry run up behind us, especially because we could be medics. So we could roll up right between the 2 buildings between Betty and Monica, and we pushed all these tan back. We told 20 green to follow about 15 feet back. We'll be your cover. 3 guys followed. We pulled up. We murked everybody between the 2 buildings. We got taken out by a grenade from the front building. Had they simply pushed up, we had the truck position where they could have taken cover behind the truck, got the mechanic back up. We could have pushed forward again. Probably we would have been blown up again. Irrelevant, but we could have at least taken them out. Only 3 guys followed, and that was a complete waste of a push.
Yep.
So, Weiner, you were right there. You're sitting beside me. You felt the frustration. What did you think on that?
What I think on that, I said there has to be a lot more premium players, experienced players to help with that push and stuff like that. It wasn't. It was sad because I know we did the push. It was awesome. I think
that's
we
no
barely.
different than any
I think.
push.
Oh, also, what would have helped too, because as we're looking around the corner, everybody but one guy was dead. After they blew us up with a grenade, or it was one guy who didn't call his hit. So he was reviving everybody. And it would just it was like you said, a wasted push. I mean, 30 seconds later, they're all back up.
Yeah, because if they would have rushed forward and they would have pushed, look, some of them would have been hit, but it's an unlimited respawn game. And literally our respawn is 100 yards behind us, right? And there was green pushing up behind them. So we would have forced it up. Like, the way I always put it is, and this was something that was taught to me a long time ago in airsoft when we're doing these events, if your objective is here and the enemy's up here, you go to take the objective, but you hold beyond your objective. So if you get pushed back or lose it, at least you still have the objective so people can move up. What I saw the entire weekend was people just push up and held at the objective. Well, there's a 35, 40 foot berm. Something like that. That berm, I don't know how tall it is, but it's up there. If I was depressed, I would have pushed with you guys. Hey, look, I appreciate that. I really do. But the thing is, they do have the high ground, and that high ground sucks. What I would have done was gotten pushed beyond the objective, so that way, in case if people fell back, we still had people at the objective to hold it. Rally the troops, dropped ordnance all along that top line, the entire grid along that top road that goes to the pipe yard all the way down to the other road, dropped everything we possibly could to wipe out everybody up there, and then rolled up in force and had everybody rush the hill. I wasn't really being considered for any that level of leadership. I'm in a Vic. My job is to be chaotic and disrupt their services as much as possible, which we did. So at the end of, so we went from owning everything to owning only 3 points, I believe, at the end of at the first pause deck, the end of the first Evo, right? And we blew a 30,000 point lead.
Yep.
So
That's
during
hurtful.
that first Evo, was there anything that I missed that you saw, Weiner, during the first Evo? Well, I know.
Anything that, well, we went
Like when I was
during
discussing
the first Evo. I tell you what, the first Evo, yeah, because that went till 4:30. Just when we made that all the way around, and we thought there was no tan, like Tan left. We thought maybe Tan left the field, and then we come up between the buildings and see all the Tan are lined up along that berm, pushing
Yeah,
down on our guys. A lot of them didn't see us come up, but it was sad.
So the second thing that was really problematic that I realized after the first 2 hours is comms were all but silent.
You guys eat?
Yeah, and they were working. We know they were working.
We were working.
At least between Chaos and Mako 1, I mean, they were all still, we were still communicating there. But as far as anything else, it was,
There was very little discussion. There was very little conversations that were going around. Even at the end, towards the last 2 hours of that first Evo, we didn't even have that much We didn't have that much conversation with Mako 1, which, by the way, when all of a sudden changed people's call signs and changed it from Malice 1 to Mako 1, I
Malice 1 to
Malice,
Weiner 1,
Malice 6,
Chaos 1, Chaos 6. Yeah.
Bro, I was annoyed with. And I think even Greg heard it when I go, Joker to
whoever
Malice
the fuck you are.
Because he goes, you mean Mako 1? Yeah, whatever, Mako 1. Here's the deal. There was almost no comms that were really there. And now we act like a QRF, and I'm not trying to brag or come on. I always end up behind enemy lines.
There's the eye again.
Shut up, Weiner. Shut up. Because as it stands right now, we always end up behind enemy lines. I seem to find the routes that work so we could bypass and go through.
He does.
And it's that just takes learning a field, right? We've been to Stonebreaker so many times. I knew which ways I can go. I mean, we're going to talk about a little bit of what happened on Sunday with the hide and go seek.
Yeah. The hide and go seek, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was hide and go seek. But the thing was like we should be able to communicate, so we go, hey, here's where units are. Here's what we're observing behind enemy lines. We didn't have that, and that's fine. We did what we did. So start of the second Evo, the night game, we were all over the place. I mean, we were literally driving up. We would take any objective. We would go for any objective that we possibly could, even if we became combat ineffective, like us going after what was it, Monica repeatedly. Wasn't worth it.
Repeatedly.
All the damn time. We were saying
hey guys,
tactical.
I'm on bounce.
All right,
they're calling me for food.
You enjoy those crawdads, brother.
Yes, I will. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be safe.
Hey, your third chin showing.
Third chin.
Look who's fucking talking.
I don't know.
He's got 4. He's got. Not only does he have 3 chins, he's also got 4 cheeks.
I got hog jowls.
More tins than a Chinese phone book. Nah.
All right, brother. See. All right. So let's go into the like we were going back and forth. It kept being like we got. I'm trying to word this in the right way, right? Because I don't want people to think that we're attacking it. But when we do AARs, we're trying to disseminate the information and the experience of what was there and how we can improve. There was blinders to take Monica and Betty, right? I don't know why we didn't drop every ounce of ordnance that we had on Sunday to get those guys out of there. But Saturday night, when we go through, we got taken out a few times. I said, F this. we're going to go take those far points behind. And we did. We got Wendy, held Wendy for almost the entire night push, and we got Kate and held Kate for a long period of time. During the first phase, there were 50 dudes defending a rear objective. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. What side were you on, Sean? So, and that sucks, conflict, that denied comms. I mean, if you have a 12-man scout team, I mean, you should have had at least some sort of command level that you could have reported to. But we started going back and we started taking Sarah over and over again. It got so frustrating for Tan. At one point, they sent like 4 vehicles after us to take us out, which is all a distraction, right? It stops them from advancing and doing what they were. When they got dark, that's when the real fun began for us, because they did not expect us to come up from behind and start murking people from behind. You're not paying attention, Weiner.
No, I'm reading the rule set because I'm trying to find out about the JDAM rule. I'm actually looking at that right now.
Okay.
Because also it says, dead man do not talk on the radio, not even to say I'm dead.
So we rolled. One of the funniest moments of the night was we rolled up behind Venom. This one here launches a shell at him and misses.
Oh yeah, blew that. Yep.
You missed.
Yep.
Then he throws a grenade that exploded, and nothing. So then our dismount jumps off, turns over, pops a shot, hits him right at the front, and it's like, and you're still up, and it's like, so we roll up right beside him, like, you're dead, right? And he goes, we are. I was like, yeah, you're dead. And he goes, oh, okay, didn't realize that's like your chalk hit right there. Cool. And then we got blown up right after. So,
damn it.
East. Okay, so Sean, East, and I was asking them who they were fighting. They said they were holding the kill house. Now, I mean, obviously holding it later on in the day was probably worth it, but at the start of the game when we pushed them all out of there, because at the start of Saturday, we rolled through after the first time we got blown up. The second time we rolled through and we were up, we eliminated all the tan over there at Monica, so there should have been no tan there. But it was funny because so we take out Venom. They go, where the hell did you come from? I was like, I'm not telling you that. That's my path. I don't want you all to have my operational standard. I want to keep messing you guys up. So we respawn, we go back to base, we come back out. I take another route back over there. We come up right behind them again and do the same thing again. And we take them out the second time. The second time was even funnier because here's Weiner just launching a nade right into the back of their truck. Got real close, and then the other guy hit him with the chalk round. And then we roll up beside because we're starting to take out all the players. They throw a grenade that bounces and explodes right by the side of Weiner's head, right? And shot hot embers into the truck. Now, I'm laughing because Weiner's,
hit me in the thigh. Hit me right in the thigh. I got hit. It wasn't a burn mark. It was a strike from that grenade. It hit me right in the thigh.
He's like, and he's going like that. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, it's hot. I look down. There's embers in my lap. I'm jumping out of the truck, patting my stuff down. Just like an hour and a half. Yeah. Man, if only those people would have moved up and held a position like, say, Lola, for example. Imagine what could have been done there.
I'm sad here, but yet again, I'm still pissed at what happened with the JDAM. It says close air support JDAM strikes, precise close air support with a 50-foot kill radius. Players wounded in these strikes can be healed if it is their first or second hit. The 50-foot kill radius is what pisses me off because they did not adhere to that at all. That's why they were able to res everybody so freaking fast.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a second because that was Sunday. That was the thing that.
Oh, Saturday. That JDAM was on Saturday. That one.
The one that pissed me off? I thought it was Sunday.
The one, no. We pulled
so let's go back to that.
Yeah, it was on Saturday.
We roll up, and next weekend we're definitely going to have the Vic talk, right? Talking about Vics being effective on the field. One of the key things is, one of my key rules is my vehicle is always moving with only 2 exceptions. We're deploying, or we're quickly taking an objective, and we're waiting for our dismount to get back in, and we're giving them cover, right? If not, the vehicle's always moving, because it's obviously harder to hit a moving target. Second Evo, we go to try to take Betty because they pre-deployed at Monica again. So there's a massive fight there. We roll in between Betty and Monica, where those 2 warehouses were, just on the other side of the kill house. And our job was to try to take out as many tan as we could and push them back. Well, as we come rolling in, we knew what the mission was and that we were about to be eliminated. We didn't care. Our job was to disrupt tan. As we're pulling up, the white truck that has a trailer full of freaking green inside of it is sitting there, stopped. And there's all sorts of tan getting ready. There's also the other vehicle that's about to go. The other, I think it was a Doomsday. I think it was the Doomsday vehicle that was going to go rolling into Monica. They were also stopped. So as we're about to get blown up, as we're making a turn, I was like, Ninja, get the hell out of that trailer. You're going to get blown up. They deployed off the trailer, but it was almost too late. They threw like 10, 12 grenades over the fence at those two vehicles, and they were going off left and right. Nobody should have lived. Everybody died. We were taken out. Now, what happened just before that, if command would have radioed, don't push on Betty yet, don't push on Monica yet, we're dropping a JDAM. We would have held back for the extra minute and a half it would have taken to drop that JDAM. Then we would have rolled in.
Oh.
So we roll in, that JDAM comes up, and there's about 25 tan that were in that area. That JDAM goes off. Only about half of them called it. And then the other groups that were there started medicing the other guys immediately. One dude runs across the front of the truck. He still has his dead rack out to medic people. And what I think is the one takeaway is that if admins, when they're there, even though they're on a golf cart and they're about to drop a JDAM, is get out and start pointing out, you're dead, you're dead, you're dead, identifying the dead players so we don't have this. Because that JDAM, because Green was going to move in, but these guys all got up within 15 to 20 seconds. So a JDAM lasted less than 30 seconds, and everybody was up immediately, and everybody in that area should have been dead. And what it did was it effectively stopped short what we did. It demoralized a lot of people, right? It demoralized a lot of the Greens. Some of them decided that they're done. They're going home. They're getting out. So you had people that said right then and there said, F this, I'm done. And they walked off the field. So we lose more and more players because they're right by our spawn. And look, I'm not saying that Western did anything bad by taking those 2 points. It's very demoralizing. And a lot of times blinders, right? The players are going up the same direction to do the same attacks on the same area over and over and over again. And Tan was just prepared for it. I will say on Saturday, especially the second Evo, it's because I was there to harass Steve Tom. Exactly, Wilco Conrad. They were telling everybody when an air JDAM or airstrike, anything went off, they fired a gun and they pointed people out. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. You're dead. So that way people knew what was going on. But one of the things that we witnessed a lot of, because we traveled a lot of the field, was a lot of green and tan players not calling their hits. And it sucks. Like, we roll up.
What's up, my favorite Chinaman?
What's up, Steve Tom? We roll up because Steve Tom was actually there. Steve Tom, what we're talking about. He was right there. He did the right thing and said, you know what? I'm dead. I'm going to call it as pink mist. I'm walking back to respawn, because he witnessed the same thing that we did. It was bullshit. And, you know, you can get incredibly frustrated when you do a good play and you're curtailed because players do the wrong thing, especially when you're in a mode of being subbed. Which, you know, it's frustrating when you ride by a bunch of people and you're watching BBs go right underneath the trailer, right into somebody's legs and nuts, and you say, oh, I didn't feel anything. And they proceed to throw a grenade at you to take your vehicle out, even though you could see the BBs going, because almost every forward-facing shot goes right past my windshield. I can see exactly where it goes and where it hits. And It's like, really?
And Steve, I did find a thing about the JDAM on there, but the 50-foot kill radius is what they didn't utilize.
It was just really, really frustrating on that part. So at the end of Saturday night, Yeah, Steve, I thought so. You heard me
Yes.
say I think you can be revived.
Yes, you
But
can
you
be.
did the right thing, man, and just took it because I think you saw exactly what we saw, which was a whole bunch of tan players that should have been dead,
Like
just
the
running
ones hiding
around.
behind the trailer, the ones who
Yeah,
revived everybody, they were
yeah,
dead. They
they
were
were
actually
dead.
legitimately dead.
They were right there inside the. I mean, they were right by where the guy pulled out. Where I think it was
Where he
Ty.
shot it. It was
Yeah,
Shane.
Shane,
Shane he
bam.
shot. Yep.
He
He
fired
did
and yeah, exactly, man.
it. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not,
Brad. But
but
hey, you
I didn't
weren't
say that out
there.
loud. You weren't there. You missed out. We could have used you.
You weren't there.
Definitely could have used you.
So the Saturday night ended at least on a positive for us because what we got to do on the back half of the field, we got to do a lot of running around. We got to do a lot of great maneuvers for us. Like our anti-tank was not up to par to some of the other ones, which I want to talk about the anti-tank for just a quick second. Um, I made the suggestion in the CCA Facebook page already. We as vehicle crews really need to look out, know what we need to look out for if we're going to get hit by something. Sunday, we had these tennis balls with holes and it was suddenly dropped near the front of our Vic, and I was like,
It dropped from a drone and we were already dead at that point.
they were dropped, but I thought somebody threw them over, and I was like, I thought these were like a player-made thing, and so we took them to TCM and what's this? They go, oh yeah, they use it for the drones. I was like, oh, that would be good information to know.
Yeah, it would have been nice if we would have saw him in the safety brief.
The reason why is we have to be aware of everything that could hit us, and if there's rules changes, we need to be aware of those too. At least the vehicle teams need to know, because the last thing any of us on a vehicle want is to have some of the discussions that are happening on the TCA forums about, oh, you guys are cheating doing this. Like I was told and asked specifically during the safety brief, is direct hit by a smoke launched thing considered a hit? No. Well, they changed that, and on Sunday, suddenly it's okay to be hit by smoke, the smoke rockets. And that was kind of frustrating because you're like, what do we do here? We don't know. So Sunday starts off, and um, I will just say, do you know when the argument started, Weiner? Like
Which
what
argument?
the one that
Oh,
involved
the
like
one that no, but I saw the video of it. I didn't look at the time. I wish I would have looked at the time when that went down because that was not pretty. I saw the video.
yeah.
Um,
So we're not going to go too much into who's right, who's wrong, but obviously tensions were high because one thing that was Saturday, the tactical retreat, right?
Saturday. No, that was Sunday.
Sunday was the tactical retreat. Is
Tactical
that when
retreat
we
was on
came?
Sunday.
That's when we came back through and all the
Yep.
green were there. Okay.
Yep.
So on Sunday, we start off when we go to take the backside. I mean, our goal was to try to keep taking Sarah away from them over and over and over again. We wanted to, uh, sorry, cool. Our goal was to keep rattling the cage of Tan to throw them off guard to do it. So Tan started getting the idea that we're there, and they started sending a lot of forces after us specifically. At one point in time, we turn a corner, and there's all five tan Vics were waiting for us right by their AA. So we go up, we pull behind like some woods, some trees. Weiner gets his AT going, up and ready. And it's like we're just waiting there. We have Reaper rounds and everything. So I see them start to move, and I said, "Screw this!" There was a trail in front of us. I drove straight. Now we're playing hide and seek with 5 other technicals. um, we still got out, but then we were doing we were doing a death run to Sarah no matter what. We rolled out and we came across Venom. We almost made it when we got hit in the front. They launched a great rocket. They missed the first shot. Second shot skipped right off the hood of the truck and exploded 15 feet away. But we got hit by a direct hit. So because we got a direct hit, we called it. That's when the stupid balls dropped in front of us. And we're like, what the hell is that? um, are you going to participate in this stream?
I am participating. I'm listening to you. I'm looking at the vehicle rules and about the 40 millimeter tag rounds. which explode lethal to the field, detonate within 10 feet. Hand grenades must detonate within 10 feet. 40 tag rounds which explode are lethal to the vehicle. Smoke grenade, there's nothing here about being hit with a smoke grenade.
I asked Sal specifically during the brief, and he said
Yep.
it didn't count because that was the rule at Iron Dagger,
Right.
and I wanted to make sure that that rule carried over.
10 foot of a vehicle or a direct hit by a rocket. Now, is smoke launched a rocket?
No, it isn't. But
Okay.
that
All troops
is
outside
what
the vehicle.
happened later on.
Yeah,
That was like
I know.
so.
Right.
About halfway through the day, we go rolling back. So we got up there. We took Eve by ourselves with our dismount. We cleared them out of Monica at the start of the game.
Yep.
We took Eve. We did that. We cleared the space up around there. We got taken out. Then we went to do our background side. We tried to take Sarah. We made 2 attempts on Sarah before we succeeded the first time. And it was short lived, right? We got up there, we took it, and then they sent their technicals in right behind us. We got hit, whatever. Then we go, that's about the point when we went rolling back through, and all of a sudden there's like 100 green near AA. We didn't know what happened, so we didn't find out until that evening,
night.
that afternoon when we went to, after the event, we went to late lunch with Papa, that a strategic retreat was called. I am going to say it like this, and again, I don't want to disparage anybody anything else, but if we have positions and we have forward positions, we have bodies forward, what we should have done was held back the units that were returning that were dead, and then possibly send those units up as one massive wave of reinforcements instead of pulling everybody off the field. Now, Sunday, except for like a 1 hour period, there was no comms with anybody with the truck. Like Papa handed us off to, I think it was, who was Doug in charge of?
What is it, Fight Company?
No, Thresher. We were passed off to Thresher.
So
he goes, you're passed off to Thresher. Well, Thresher had no comms with us, so we didn't have anything. So after that strategic retreat happened, we drove by not realizing what was going on. Nobody flagged us down. Nobody called us. We had no idea. We continued and did another run on Sarah, and then we came back. So it was our third attempt. We didn't make it to Sarah. We got hit. We got into a nice ambush.
We got
ambushed by Ghost.
By Ghost got us, finally paid us back after we took his ass out a few times.
Yeah, so Ghost came and took us out.
He swacked us.
That's when the grill got punched in. Right, another hole got punched in my grill. Well, the second hole done. And then so we go back, and then Fat Ninja's there with his guys. I said, "Hey, load up. We're gonna take you guys out. We're gonna go hit Sarah. We're gonna take the objectives." So at that point, we're rolling out, and we heard that there was touchdown on Kate, and we had touchdown on Wendy. So we're just going straight to Sarah. So as we go rolling out, we had to do an ammo reload. But our gunner, being the infinite genius that he did, forgot to check the air on the main gun. Yeah, so we roll back
Wasn't
through.
Me, not me.
No, that was not him. It was Gibby. Gibby did not check to make sure that we had enough air inside the gun. We had plenty of ammo at that point, but no air. So we roll up. There's Ghost again. Ghost hits us misses us with the first shot. I'm yelling at our gunner and Weiner to shoot the hell out of him.
That's when the mirror got shot out, wasn't it?
No,
Yes.
Not yet. We're almost there. But Weiner shoots off. He gets Ghost.
Oh, that one is over there by the. Okay.
Yeah,
yes,
it was
I shot Ghost.
So he gets Ghost because Ghost missed his
Spin
second
around.
shot. Spin around. And I'm like, right there.
Wham!
3 o'clock. Shoot. Weiner's trying to shoot. The guy up top's using a pistol. And then this one takes a chalk round essentially to the face. It hits the damn the side view mirror.
Hit the mirror.
And turned him
orange. And I
turned
ate
him
pieces of the chalk. Pink.
It was he came in and he spit chalk out of his mouth. It was hilarious.
Yep.
So we
one eye was completely covered in pink. One of my eye.
So Venom was coming at that point in time, and so was 2 foot mobiles. So we're standing there, we're talking. And I was like, we're resetting our air because we're dead, right? Headlights on, everything else, and all of a sudden I see my eyes light up. I'm like, oh, there is a green guy walking in the woods on the other side of the road. He's that forward in advance, and I was like, oh my god, this is great. And then our gunner starts saying, "Mechanic." I was like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, shut up. I'm like, I'm red faced because let the guy be. So Venom takes off to Wendy, leaving the 2 foot mobiles to follow behind. This guy comes out and he just does one of my, it was almost like my casual, just like pop, pop. And he walks over, he mechanics us. So he mechanics us up, and then we make a beeline straight to Sarah. We go rolling up. There's 3 tan guarding Sarah, right? We roll up. I deploy before Sarah, letting all those guys get out. Now the funny thing was when Rabbit and them jumped off, they were running faster than the truck to take the positions. We rolled up. We engaged the 3. I had to go off road as soon as I went from that nice flat surface to the soft ground. Dipshit here shoots out my mirror, but it's great. We got blowed up. It was so great. 2 other Vics are now rolling in behind. We turn Sarah. Our guys just start lobbing grenades. They hit the same truck 3 times when it was dead. They finally got the other side-by-side technical. And it was just a great thing. So when we bled out, we drove back. And when we did, we were just all high fives and cheers because it was such an awesome engagement that happened there. And we held it, I believe, for about an hour.
Yes.
So Fat Ninja and his crew held
Stay
that
there.
position, and it was fantastic. It was the highlight of the entire time because we kept going right past AA, their enemy AA. Each time we'd take out about a dozen or so foot mobiles that were trying to move to move forward. It was really, really an experience to have at the event, right? So we stayed for the most part in that 1 hour period of time that we were with the crew, with Blackburn and all that. We had great communication. Nothing else. So it was a fantastic. It was just a great maneuver. The rest of the day we spent going through do something, and then probably the best part was the last 5 minutes of the event. So once again, we know it's like 15 minutes left. I was like, screw it, we're just going to go back.
Let's go get it.
I'm going to go I want to take Lola. Let's go take Lola. So we jump in, we go rolling out. At this point, we have nobody wants to leave the truck. They're having a good time. Sure, Brad, I can give you some updates in a minute. We go rolling up. We get behind everything, and then all of a sudden, what is that? What is it? DC-17, I think, is the name of that truck. It's It's not the Venom pickup truck. It's the other pickup truck.
The one that kept. Yeah, the Jeep. The Jeep.
No, it wasn't the Jeep. It was the truck. It was the pickup truck. The one that took Pierce home.
Okay. I'm sorry. The other guys that look like Venom. Yes, the other guy.
Yeah. Yep. So they come out, and we go through what Connex City used to be. And there's that big building there. They're on the other side. When I saw them go that way, I just did a quick U-turn, and then we went up the bumpy road from hell to the top, the pressure. And they came right behind us. They're like, we're going to take these guys out. When I was on that incline, I thought we were going to get taken out. They launched a couple things at us, but barely missed. It was great. We get to the top. You and the main gunner start waxing into the 10 that were up there. Miraculously, they were still alive. We get up, we go around. Unit 91. There we go. Yeah, Unit 91. We got up there. We took all those guys out. We finally got hit. It was just so fantastic of a last final push. And the game is called. We sit down there. We all sit down. We're all bullshitting. Geezer comes up, gives us a hug, and we're all talking. And then one of the Green Command comes up, and I said,
"Oh, that ticket."
Yeah, we put in so much fucking work today. We pushed up. We took Sarah and all that. He goes, "Yeah, well, if you guys actually knew how to support the infantry, we wouldn't have lost." I was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
We put so many points on the board.
And we were supporting the infantry. We'd go help cover them while they were. Yeah.
We did so many pushes and everything else to cover the infantry, to distract, to get the enemy to push off, to back off, and everything else. To say that at the end, to blame the vehicles because of the lack of communication, ineffective use of fire systems, to argue with players, call a tactical retreat and pull your players off the field, allowing the enemy to get a further trench hold into the game. These are the failures that led up to the loss. There are teams out there that should be recognized for the work they fucking put in to keep points on the board where we only lost by 26,000 points and not 100,000 points. Because if these teams would have given up, if Fat Ninja and his crew would have walked away, we would not have had the points at Sarah. We would not have had the points at Wendy. We would not have had the points at Kate. If Dougie and his crew on Thresher gave up, we wouldn't have had the points on Wendy, Kate, and all that. They called the tactical retreat, and I was like, how the fuck is Tan all the way at Wendy when we rolled through? Now we know why. They pulled all of our forces away from the objectives that we had secure for most of the day. And it was incredibly frustrating. So what I will tell everybody as my final part of the AAR, on a whole, I had fun. Command should not be blaming the players for what happened. You should be gearing your attack plans for your players on how they're going to be playing on your team to make them be as effective as possible and keep it simple. I understand the need for operational security, but this is also airsoft. You have to accommodate for the. We couldn't effectively communicate for the first hour of what point is what because there was a number, the new name, and the TCA designated name of every single objective. So now you got to remember what's what where, because as drivers, as gunners, we're radioing shit under combat. We shouldn't have to be saying we're at French, where the fuck are we? Because that happened once. Where the fuck are we? What the fuck objective is this? Because the name we're trying to do for operational security. Sometimes, and I really don't want to be negative on the leadership that was there, I finally earned a TCA patch, my second one in as many years as I've been there, for the work I did. So I want to thank Werewolf for that and the recognition of giving me that patch for the work we put in.
I got a coin.
Yeah.
For my work.
Anyways,
that's because you were under my command. That's why.
But I was the one telling you where we're going. But,
correct. But I was the leader.
Don't blame the technicals for the failure of what happened. The technicals were doing good. Even FUPA, when it was up and running, when it was on the field, was incredibly effective. The dune buggy out there was incredibly effective. The Doomsday
vehicle
was very effective. The thing I say would be ineffective was the truck and trailer, because it's just too big of a target. And even at 10 miles an hour, it's slow because it's how long it is. You throw a grenade at the front, by the time it passes the thing, your trailer's still within the 10-foot radius, and you're taking out a whole lot of foot soldiers. It's almost better to have 2 to 3 pickup trucks instead of one trailer, because you can deploy almost the same amount of people with 2 trucks as you could with just that one. On a whole, we had a blast doing what we did. It sucks to lose, but we have to identify the major components of what led to our loss. Lack of communication, lack of keeping the troops up, complicating the attack plan, and the tactical retreat. And then finally, not preparing the fucking airsofters to go to 4:30 p.m. Western was there in force until 4:30.
Yep.
Eastern was not. Next time, maybe well, I'm not trying to point fingers. What I'm trying to say is these are the things that we need to do to improve upon and to have the experience be better. So maybe when we're having these meetings and everything else, we focus on making sure players have plenty of water and food at the CPs. Or here's maybe a novel fucking concept. We chip in and put a fucking grill there and give them fucking burgers and hot dogs.
Yep. As you come in. Yep. That's actually a good idea. That just popped in your head, huh? The fat guy thinks of food.
Well, I'm just thinking about the other. I mean, we had plenty of snacks. We didn't stop.
Oh yeah, nope. We had the beef jerky and all that stuff in there.
Even Pierce,
Slim Jims, even Pierce.
Pierce had his snacks and everything at the CP. There were people that did, but the people that didn't think ahead for food, those are the ones that are at the parking lot at 1:30 because that's lunchtime, 2 o'clock, having lunch and wasting an hour or two because of when they thought Index was or PAUSEX. And we don't say
PAUSEX.
Index, PAUSEX. So the bottom line is we see where the things are. Let's keep it simple. If we have to have operational security, how about we have these weird different call names for the objectives within the first 15 minutes and then resort back to what we know so that way we can be more effective with what we're doing, right? Maybe we should have some gyms only every op.
Hey,
look at that. Chicken. I do like food.
Yep, we did have the 10, 26 pack of Slim Jims in there. They
We
got
did.
all eaten too.
Look,
Yep.
Patrick, we were at the Walmart. He goes, "Should we get this one?" It was the 15. I was like, I grabbed the 26. I was like, he'll eat those.
That's what I wanted to get. Yep.
So we just have to think about those things. Simplify communication, trust, and then if you're in a position of command, don't piss off your player base is the number one thing. Try to encourage them, try to embolden them, try to bring them up, especially when they're in a negative mindset. And if somebody is excited and having a good time about what they did, don't blame them or or what am I trying to say? Don't undercut what they did and then blame them for a loss. Yeah, dude, Sean, a bag of beef jerky. Every op. If I don't have a technical, I have beef jerky in my hydro pack with my food, with my water, so that way I could always have a quick source of. I also carry around those packets of applesauce,
which I used to make fun of with Mark having them and stuff like that because it looked like baby food. But good God, those things are good. I went through probably 3 or 4 myself.
It's fast emergency sugar too, right?
Oh yeah,
and it can trick your body into thinking that you're not hungry for a little while when the adrenaline.
It did. It really worked.
Ryan has a great question. For future, would another truck or a large go-kart dune buggy be better? I would say you have plenty of fast attack vehicles buggy-wise. Another truck would be better. If you think about what both Venom and Unit 91 did, they were doing what I typically do, which is a lot of unit drop-off. A 5-6 man team, after they get dropped off and supported by a truck, can do an insane amount of damage. And because they could go back and do it again, they can pick up another group. Yeah, like I said, I saw part of the video that was there, and I'm really not going to address that. That's not my story to tell. I
think that was a learning experience for someone. So
that's a learning experience for a lot of people, right? We're consciously and aware not to do it.
We've been around for a while. We're event producers, so we know what our clientele is, and that's you try to appease the masses, and sometimes you have to go after the one to appease, make sure the masses are appeased. But it's just something you learn to do, and I understand where some of that frustration was coming from. It's just that was not the place for that to happen at.
Yeah,
and I held no ill will for it. It's just a situation that boiled over, and I'd like to see the same command structure at the next event, though with lessons learned.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd like to see, I don't want to see anybody, quit because of this, because of what happened. That was just, a boiling point that went over wrong. But at the same token, it's a learning point there. It's not the first time that has happened overall, with all the Milsim events I've been to, because I've seen it happen more than once. And I know what happens. I mean, I think at one point back when my early days of being in command, back with the old Doomsday guys,
you got
that? Look who's calling me.
Why in the middle of, all right. Well, you can send his ass to voicemail because you're on a roll there.
I am. I am actually. So back in the old days when I was with Doomsday Airsoft and in command, I had the same thing happen to me where I boiled over, and I learned from that experience too. I mean, there was a whole team that got me that route, and now we're best of friends. So it's just one of those things. It's a learning experience for the Eastern Command. There were some people on it that probably could have prevented that from happening who didn't do it, and but This is the event Toucan got his tooth shot out at. Yes, it was. Toucan just did get his tooth shot out, and I saw the video that he posted of it. Hey, Yordi, and Yordi was actually out there in the field.
Yordi was on our
Yordi was
gun
having
for
a
a
blast.
while.
I think he actually made it out this time without getting injured. I think he was good the whole weekend.
He said his knee was sore.
No, his knee was sore, but yet he still was working out there. So yeah, so I can't complain too much for Yordi. Yeah, it's just good gosh, it's just it's a learning experience, and I hope it comes back, and with that new education. I guess that's the best way to put it, because I mean, all the people who are involved with that, I love to death. They're brothers and some sisters out there. Excuse me. And it's just I took Lola on my own. You did, huh? We didn't see it. If it's not on video,
yeah, he did.
If it's not on video, it didn't happen.
I think it was after. Correct me if I'm wrong, Yordi, but that was after your helo flight, right? He came in from behind and he took out Lola by himself. Which there's awesome moments like this. Like one of the famous things that Yordi and I did together in a night game at a Stonebreaker. We dismounted from the vehicle and we decided to go through. So Yordi and I were going up. We had the battle bug there and the gun truck. Yordi and I went the route that we went, which we haven't even talked about yet. Oh my God. So sometimes I'm going to finish the story, Yordi. We go up, we go past the hexafluoride building, we go to that little shack. And I was like, Yordi, we took the hexafluoride objective ourselves, right? Because that was near our spawn and nobody took it. We then went up and went to this little building, and I was like, there's people right there. He goes, what do you do? Shoot them. Where? Shoot them. Now. He goes, where? Right there. And we turned the lights on, and we just started laying waste into them. We took out all these God with his God light. He turned his God light on. We took them all out. Then we go up to the pipe yard, and there's a hell of a fight piping up the pipe yard. And there's an admin just standing there looking up at the objective. All the green are in front of the objective, fighting this one small group of tan. They're looking up, and then what do? I go up there, I was like, is that the objective? He goes, and the guy goes, what do you think? And I go, do I do this? And I switched it to green. He goes, yes. I was like, oh, cool. They're all fighting the front part of this thing, and there's people belly crawling along the road because there's a technical there. It's our fucking technical. I was like, it's our tech. And I just walked past him. I was like, what are you doing? He goes, Joker gets out of the technical. I was like, yeah, it's ours. Let's go. I throw a grenade, go in the back door, and I take out the last two guys. Both he and I got a third coast patch.
Perfect, Ryan. Beautiful, Ryan. Yes, I agree. I'll help chip in for that.
Yeah. Then we went out and we went up and went to go into the main jock building. And here comes the Humvee, right? Here's me hauling ass away from the Humvee into that small building, making these. Yordi, I think, was crouched down below and was the only one to survive it. And Yordi and myself, essentially, we went through all this tan. We got all the way up the top. We fished 4 fucking objectives, just the two of us at Stonebreaker. That's the stories I love to tell, right? I don't like really going into like the negatives of what happened. But there's one thing I glaringly missed. Sometimes you got to find a way. Sometimes you got to try a new way to go after the same thing. We could not get technicals. To go through Betty and Monica because Tan had it locked down. But if we can get behind them and go that pathway around up beside or go right down the pipe yard, well, now you have a way to really fuck with Tan on 2 fronts. So I saw the little pathway that was there, and I kept bypassing. I said, oh, it looks a little marshy. I was so frustrated. I said, fuck it. Let's go. And we drove the truck down. He's freaking out.
I thought he was going to break his truck.
He thought I was going to break the truck.
To the tank.
I was going easy over those logs and everything.
Didn't feel like it. I got whiplash from that alone.
Oh, you got whiplash from you get whiplash from walking down the street. Shut the fuck up, old man.
At least I don't knock myself out with my belly.
I don't either. So we went through, we came up behind and we did our first push. That's when we got the guys that were underneath the trailer that were taking shots to the nuts that didn't call their hits. You know who you two are. I'm still ashamed of what you did because you know better. That was blatant. That was some of the worst cheating I saw.
It happened.
And you had a machine gun firing at you, and you had the side gunner firing at you, and you yeah. So sorry, Squirrel. I just saw your comments over on TikTok. He goes, I missed the topic. Refresh real quick. G Squirrel. Stonebreaker. And he goes, never linger on the negative.
Doug had a good comments up there too.
No one likes to lose. I know troop attrition killed us, and I heard about some less than ideal communication issues. From my part, I had a blast and a positive experience, at least as positive as a loss can be.
That's why I left there feeling, smiling and stuff, even though we lost.
I was fine Sunday, except for the what happened on Saturday with the whole Janium incident. That irked the hell out of me, and it was fine up until we had command, a member of command that was on. I'm not even going to say the team name. I was about to say it. He said that it was the vehicle's fault because they did not properly support infantry. I about lost my shit. It has negatively soured the entire thing because, there. So Dougie, one of the biggest issues we had is like maybe on a certain level, certain commanders had great communication and it was up there. You had elements that were far in advance of the rest of the forces that could not get intel to where it needed to be. And that was a frustrating level of discussion. Right.
I think the hot dog idea is awesome. I think that's an awesome idea, Ryan, with the hot dogs. If we even was lost, but I did what I do best: get behind enemy lines and do my best to take objectives and kill as many tan as possible inside the buildings. Yes, you did, Yordi.
This is what we should be. We should focus on what we need to improve on. So better comms, right? Keeping cool, giving recognition to players that are there. Look, hot dogs at Costco are cheap as shit. Hot dogs and buns. Maybe it's worth a couple $100 investment for right around lunchtime to say, here, guys, take a dog and go. Right? Take a dog and get back into the fight. We have 2 more hours, and emphasize that. So that way, and we do it when you start that right around 12:30, maybe 1 o'clock when people are starting to get hungry. Hey, you want a hot dog? You want a hot dog? You want a hot dog?
Well, like you said, a crock pot full of hot dogs and buns on the side and some mustard and ketchup, and boom, there you go. Help yourself,
guys. Hot dogs only need to be heated.
Yep.
They're already cooked.
Yep.
You could eat them raw or cold, but I know. You up and go, and then that way you guys are always there. I wasn't at this one, but I felt like a spy. That squirrel over on TikTok.
Oh, he's on TikTok.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where
get that fucker.
I want the things to go. We had such great movement. We had such great flanks. We had so many great battles over the weekend.
My favorite one is still when we came around the corner and there were all 4 technicals sitting right by Sarah waiting on us. We're like, oh, fuck. But we backed up. We took that new trail and we came around behind them. Like, where the fuck did you come from?
It was hilarious because afterwards they're like, they came up to me after like, where the fuck did you go? And I was like, I'm not telling you.
Yeah.
That's my secret to know for next year.
That's right.
Because
they made roads that were really there.
Yeah. This one, every single time I said, I'm going to try a new area. He's like, we shouldn't.
Because that was our transportation home. So I was worried about something breaking on that, that turd you have.
The turd is strong, sir.
The turd is strong.
Stop insulting.
You proved it. You
stop insulting a mean green machine, okay?
Yep.
By the way, the new grill's already en route.
Yep.
It's metal.
Hot dog idea from a moral standpoint. Hell yeah. But at the same time, adults should be able to pace themselves well enough or coordinate with their leadership good enough that we can make player breaks a smooth transition. That's true too. What'd Steve say? Oh, I had a moment when we saw your tech down a couple times and we shot at you guys just for shit. Yes, you did. Yes, I did feel the shot. Yes, you did. Yep.
We did have a couple of times where we came up and we in the night game, there was another disappointing time for tan. We rolled up right behind a whole, 25 tan. We shot them all.
Yep.
There was no doubt. We shot every single last one of them.
I think I emptied a full mag into them all.
There was one guy that ran over, and you're watching the tracers bounce off of him because he was using a tracer. Yeah. They're bouncing off his fat fucking ass. He lays down, and that's the one guy that jumps up and then medics everybody. Guys, look, if you're playing airsoft, fucking take it, especially if you're in the lead. When you're dominating that much, the only thing it could do is sour your victory when you're not calling hits. You
Yep.
know, hey, what's up, Snick? How you doing?
Oh, Snick. Hey, sir. How you doing?
I mean, on a whole, there's a lot of learning for green, right? There's also a lot of learning for tan on how to counter some of the green Vics, right? Next week for sure, we're gonna have the technical roundup. I already got confirmation for Doomsday and Unit 91. They'll be on the stream. I'll be there. I'm gonna try to get Bumblebee on and get Mom on for Bumblebee.
Yep.
So I'm not even gonna call it cheat to win. I'm just gonna say that you don't want to sour it. You don't want people to come away and say, "Oh, the only reason why they won is because they cheated." I'm not saying that. There was definitely Western got their advantage and they took advantage of it and they used it the rest of the time. And Green, instead of being moralized and coming to a cohesive unit to fight back, fractured and was petty as fucking sometimes that needed to be gone around. I'm not talking about the command. I'm talking about some of the players got really fucking petty with some of their shit they were saying. You don't need to do that. To stay in the fight and win, play, have fun. We had a blast.
Yes, we did. I'm
You
ready for
know,
the next one.
I can't wait. I can't wait to go back to Hibernia again with the truck.
Oh yeah, especially with two parks now.
Patrick better replace my fucking tailgate by then.
You don't need a reminder.
But look, I got my windshield cracked. Did I cry about it? No.
Yes.
No, I did not cry about
You
the
cried,
windshield.
man. You were whimpering like a little
Shut up.
baby.
I
I
got
can't
pissed.
believe you broke my windshield.
I did say that because it was like so smooth on the outside.
I
It was
know.
like on the inside. I was
You
like,
pushed on the
"You shot
inside.
my
Yeah.
windshield." He's like, "No, I didn't." But no, that was also a great one. That was
Yeah.
what is that? That was Saturday, right, or Sunday?
I think it was Sunday morning. I think Sunday
Sunday
morning we
morning.
took the tagging around to the windshield.
We came right up through the pipe yard. We were right up there, and all of a sudden, a guy pops up right behind the concrete thing.
Because did I get the pink? Didn't I get hit with the pink chalk rounds both Saturday, or was it all
both.
Sunday?
I
I
think
know
it
I
was
got
all
hit
Sunday.
twice. Oh, it's all Sunday. Yeah,
Yeah.
Sunday morning
So
early, and then that one where I hit
those
my
Reaper
teeth.
rounds do damage. It hit the windshield at just the right spot,
Yep.
cracked it down below, and that round went flying up. We
Yep.
called it.
Yep. Yes, we did. But it was a blast. The kills were awesome. When we got killed, it was awesome. Yep.
Squirrel just said something great on TikTok. He goes, "You pay to be a target. If you hit someone, that's a bonus." And I cannot emphasize enough, if you're a technical, that you're there to be shot at. You're there to enhance the experience, right? And if you take the player's mentality to its core, you can make it very costly for a side, right?
You know, Ryan, that's what this channel used to be based on, and we don't kind of do that anymore. Calling people
Ryan,
out like that. We talk about it.
we do
But
have a
yeah,
camera for the gun. The
yeah,
camera
we
was
do
on
have
for
one.
the gun for 90% of the day. There were some times when the batteries went down. Um,
That I did. We chalk on my face.
Dougie, you came around with chalk all over your face, dude.
Yep.
You look like
I did. I had chalk all over my face.
Yeah.
My upper hat was all pink up in here, and good God, I need to go to bed. I'm tired. My eyes are warm. Oh,
we'll be ending this soon here, Winter, because this is a great discussion. We have
I
people
know. I
that are
didn't sleep
engaged
good
in the
last night.
chat.
So embrace the
So
suck. We did. We embraced the suck. I
Dude.
embrace the suck every time I go up against you, Brad. So shut up.
we did look. We could show up and be pissed off what happened the Evo before, the hour before, 10 minutes before. But what happened every single time we pulled away from every time that we died and we turned that red light off at respawn?
We
What
were
did we
back
do?
into shit. We were back
Our
into shit, ready to
mentality
go.
changed right back to, oh my God, what are we going to do now?
Yeah,
And that's sometimes what you have to do. Even when we roll up and died, I mean, I got my venting out about the whole JDAM scenario because I went up to command.
Mark isn't happy unless he's bitching about something.
Unfortunately, I'm sitting with your ugly ass all the damn time. So
and you love it every moment. I'm happy I got to see Doug.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. I'm glad Doug was there too. Doug is awesome.
It felt like a decade passed. I will give Doug. Let's give Doug some
mad props.
Right?
Mad props.
We come rolling up. Nobody's here, and all of a sudden, at like Homer, like doing reverse from the bushes. All of a sudden, he just
walks
comes
right
out. He's like, "Hey guys, how you doing?"
Where'd you come from? He was just hiding. He was like blended in with the woods and everything.
Dougie was fantastic almost every single
Dougie
time
was,
I
I
ran
think,
up
Dougie we saw everywhere on the field too.
there. Ugh.
Yes.
Hey, look.
And if you don't have a Dougie patch, you ain't cool.
Yeah, you
I
need to
got
have
a
a
Dougie
Dougie patch.
I do have one. I have it in my truck.
I need to have one for my truck and put it up on.
Yep.
I need to start filling up the
Oh,
overhead.
and for those who keep asking, the Weiner patches are on order. Ask me about my Weiner on order.
All right. Brad, are you still here? Because you asked about Syndicate updates. So Syndicate 5 is still a go. It's going to be May 30th through June 1st at Mid-Orange Correctional in Warwick, New York. We made some changes to the rules, slight changes to the rules that players asked for. So you don't have to break the plane on the second floor, but you do have to break the plane on the first floor. So tickets are on sale. You can go to playerswantedairsoft.com, click the link, go right on through. You can go to eventbrite.com/syndicate5. Tickets are right there. 150. There is limited camping. So if you guys are camping, you have to let us know pretty quick if you guys are camping there. We have some space for some trailers. But most of the stuff's going to be down there. Dougie said, great to see you too, Yordi. It had been forever. It had. Hey, come on out, Fog. Come on out, Squirrel. I mean, Syndicate's right around the corner. It's 2 months away. All skirmish bands will be included in this one. We have.
And I got to go find mine again. Damn it!
I know, such a horrible thing to do. We have the entire back half of the property, so that soccer field is not going to be taken over by camping this time, because now we know. So people that were there before, Weiner is going to be the tan CO for that event. We have not announced the green CO yet. I'm waiting for
Whiskey needs to be the green one again.
Yeah.
So we can't get Justin up.
Come up to Black Tiger Airsoft. You know, funny enough, I'm going to be doing some travel this weekend. So,
BTA's over there.
If you're going to be signing up, Brad, buy your goddamn tickets, brother. Message me and I'll send you a link directly. Okay. I want to see a message from you right now. Hey man, I need my tickets. So we can get you guys out there to have a good time, because Syndicate is going to be a blast at this location. We have other stuff in the future that's planned for you guys, other different locations that we're hopefully that we can announce real soon. We have a lot of irons in the fire right now, and we're hoping that even if one of these comes out, I think y'all will be real happy with what we have planned for the rest of the year. So on a whole, I want to make it clear for those of you that have been sticking around for us this long. We had a blast at Stonebreaker.
Yes.
It sucks losing, but we know what to do. I mean, hopefully they know they can fix on what to do in the future, right? But we're always going to be there. We're always going to support Eastern. We're going to continue what we do with our VIX to make sure that that we could do the proper fireside. What's up? What was that head shake for?
Oh, it's just the note that I was just watching on here. I'm actually, if you think I'm looking at you and listening to you, no, I'm actually watching FBI over here on my big screen.
Of course you are, because your ADHD is absolutely unreal at times, right?
That's right. Steve,
nice, Gert. Two of them would be the first time playing. Gert is going to be a sponsor of Syndicate, so Sweet. They always bring a hell of a lot of stuff to raffle off. I know MK Airsoft, I think, is going to be there. Plus,
New Breed Airsoft will be there.
Yeah, I don't think Gabe's going to be there because it's too close to the birth of his child.
That's right. He's getting ready.
Congratulations,
his wifey Autumn's going to pop one out for us.
So that was our AAR for Stonebreaker. I'm sure there's going to be some more feedback and stuff that people say about the event. But join us next week for sure when we talk about the technicals, the challenges of technicals. Brad, I need to make a phone call to Amped. I found something out over the weekend that I need to clarify and understand better. So I don't want to announce anything just yet. My question is, they should be.
Airsoft is awesome.
Let's talk about what's going to be coming up in the near future. So
he says future. Look at that. Operation Future Wars, Chapter 1, being brought to you in an outdoor extreme battlefield, Orlando, on May 2nd and 3rd. Gates open at 12 o'clock. Camping is free. Get there. Buy your tickets now at newbreedersoft.com or go to the Facebook page for Operation Future Wars, Chapter 1. Story is written by our very own Justin Beowulf West and Kristen Toucan Harris. So it's going to be an awesome event. Get your tickets now while you can. It's 250 player event. The tickets are going, so get your tickets now while you can. If you're on here right now listening and have a team that's coming, or even yourself that's coming, message me direct. I'll give you a code. We'll get you a discount.
That's always the case, right? A lot of times.
That's right.
Please, sir, can I have some more?
Yep.
So ultimately, that was, even though I knew he was going to say his event first. What is the date for
April 19th. You're talking the one for
April 19th
Wasteland.
for Wasteland 16.5, right?
16.5. I think that's correct, but it's at Wayne's World of Paintball, and it's gonna be an awesome event too. I will be there. I don't think Mark will be there. He's gonna wimp out.
I
And then-
probably will be there. I mean,
but the dead look for the oh, that was weird. Look for some of the DEO guys being there. It's gonna be awesome. Check them out. By the way, DEO, I've been advertising for them all night long. Is my store of choice for my events, and the D Hop Barrel.
Home of the D Hop Barrel, the
Home of
best
the
patch
D-Hop.
barrel on the market
That's
today.
right. That's right.
Yeah, Squirrel just said, Wasteland. Dang it! So you have Wasteland. That's always a fun event.
Stupid. He's stupid. Why would you torture yourself and do that?
So then we also, again, we've already mentioned it, but we do have Syndicate 5 May 30th through June 1st at Middle-Orange Correctional in Warwick, New York. That's going to be a 350 player cap. There is some limited camping. It's DEA versus cartel, all sorts of props, everything else. It'll be a hell of a lot of fun there. After that, Weiner and I are going to Denmark.
That we are.
So we're going to go get to play internationally and become international airsofters. Other things that we're going to be doing, we only want to remind everybody now as it starts. Pew Pew at C4 is live. If you guys want to come out, hang out with a bunch of other airsofters, having a great time on a really awesome ship, going to the Key West, in the Bahamas, having it brings me enough for Tropic. A Brad, increase it to 14 and I'll think about it.
If it's new Tropic, I think you should be able to wear it.
You're too lean.
Emma had a set of multicam Tropic on this weekend that was awesome. The color was perfect. You definitely could tell it was green 100%. So as long as it's not faded multicam Tropic, I think you should be able to wear it.
Well, that's great for you that you could have it for your events. But until Brad Beavers brings me another 14 players to come on, you can't have.
I'm fighting for you, Brad. I'm fighting for you.
So if you guys are interested in going out on a cruise where all your alcohol is provided, the food is absolutely fantastic. The views are awesome. The people that are going with you are also a fun group of people to hang out with and do a lot of fun with. Then check out Pew Pew at C4. You could check out Pew Pew at C on Facebook to get the events on there. For two people, Ocean View, which is the lowest class that we have, is only $18.47. It's a 4-day, a 4-night cruise. You need to put $200 down, and you can pay the rest off before January 24th, 2026. There's, we were there last night. What's that?
Not the movie, the show I'm watching.
Will you pause the show for fucking 5 minutes?
I can't. It's live streaming on a Spectrum.
You can still pause it.
No, you can't. You cannot pause it because it's called Spectrum TV, so you can't pause it. I'd have to wait till the next day. Oh, good, he showed up.
So it's going to be on the summit for Celebrity Cruises. It's a fun event. Last time we went out there, we had a blast and everything else. So check out Pew Pew at Sea. We'll have a link. We have a link for that on playerswantedairsoft.com. Check it out. Come out. Have a good time.
Speaking of which, I still haven't got my ticket yet. Again.
For Pew Pew at Sea?
For Pew Pew at C4. Yep.
God damn it, Weiner.
I do that all the time, though.
I know you do. If you want something higher, like a veranda, which has the balcony, or the concierge class, the veranda is like $2,227.
Wait a minute.
Veranda.
Veranda's below concierge class, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is that above?
I'm going to say concierge class, which is a step higher, is $2,319.
You get the actual. So
concierge class is higher.
Concierge class is higher than veranda. Veranda doesn't give you a patio.
You get veranda, get a patio. It's usually a smaller patio, but you also get more perks with concierge class.
Yeah,
You
so
can go to
concierge
blue
class is the one that
dining.
I've gotten, and I'm actually yes.
Yeah, you
And
get blue dining and everything. The dining, the blue restaurant, which is also fantastic.
that's aqua class.
No, blue is also including concierge class.
No, it wasn't. At least
We'll
it wasn't
figure it
last
out.
time. Yep. I know it
Um,
wasn't because I had concierge class.
So everything that we're talking about includes all your port fees and everything else. The only thing not included is your gratuities, which are about anywhere between $89 to $109, depending on the type of room you got. Go check those things out. We'll obviously be talking about more and more stuff coming in the future. Next week, join us so we could talk all about technicals, and hopefully we'll have more videos about stuff that's been falling from the sky,
Yep.
hitting technicals. We can talk all the ups and downs of being a technical driver. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages,
Crack.
we'd like to thank you for coming on and joining. You have plenty of places that you could be Tuesday night, but you chose to say it with us.
Thank you.
Until
Thank you. All
next
those
time,
shade. Yep. Till next time. Have a great one.
may your BBs fly true and your opponents always call your hits. Good night.
Squirrel.